This is the Sunday Business Page with John Delano.
Good morning, I'm John Delano. Welcome to another home edition of the Sunday Business Page. Our special guest today is Joe Reinhart, an attorney who is the chair of the energy group, the energy practice at Pittsburgh-based law firm Babst Calland. And we have him on the show every year because he writes an outstanding report on the state of the oil and gas industry. Joe, it's nice to see you again. Welcome.
Good morning, John.
So let me just ask you right off the bat, what is the state of the natural gas industry here in southwestern Pennsylvania?
Well, John, it continues to be very productive, but it certainly has had its challenges recently with regard to the dual issues of COVID and the pandemic, and as well as the worldwide energy crunch on prices. So we've seen natural gas prices have been dipping. But the real difference between last year and this year is the number of the rig count. We've had a significantly reduced number of rigs that are operating and drilling. But I think significantly the reduction that we've seen here has been much less than what it's been out west in the Permian, for example, in Texas, the Permian Basin. And we continue to actually have an increasing percentage of the volume of production for natural gas for the U.S.
So the bottom line is that while the industry as a whole is down everywhere, it's not as bad in Pittsburgh as it is elsewhere?
Exactly. We're holding our own.
So what about the jobs in this area? You say fewer rigs drilling. Does that mean fewer jobs in the Pittsburgh area?
Well, I think with regard to direct jobs in terms of drilling, I certainly think that is something that has been reduced lately. But I think when you look at jobs and talk about the natural gas industry in Pennsylvania, it would be a mistake not to consider all of the associated industries. For example, of course, the Shell cracker plant is a prime example, where you've got 5,000 construction jobs going on right now to build that $6 billion plant. And of course, you've got the promise of 500 permanent jobs that would be resulting from that.
I don't really want to draw you into politics, but it's pretty hard not to ask about fracking with both sides having accusations against each other. Now, I've interviewed Vice President Biden, I've interviewed President Trump. I know what they say about each other, but the bottom line is fracking is not going to disappear no matter who's elected president. Is that your view?
Yeah, well, I think that's certainly what I have seen as well, John. I think that the candidate Biden understands the significance of the natural gas industry in Pennsylvania, and so he's been careful about not making references to banning fracking. He's made some statements about banning fracking on public lands, I believe. I think probably what would be probably the larger consideration would be his emphasis in his climate plan with regard to sort of trying to incentivize renewables and decarbonizing the U.S. market generally.
Which essentially would mean moving away from natural gas to alternatives. Which I think is a fair statement about Vice President Biden and his approach to climate change. But he's also been clear that it's not going to be some sudden stoppage or banning of fracking or the natural gas industry. I don't know how that's going to work out. How does that play on investment, though, in this industry right now? Is that a crimp on people wanting to move forward?
Well, what I've been observing here is notwithstanding all of the reduction in energy demand because of the pandemic and because of increasing discussions about renewables, you're still seeing transactions occur where the natural gas producers are still making deals. Recently, there was one with Montage with regard to acquiring that particular entity. I saw that Chevron recently has been looking into investments in Iraq. And so it continues to be something where the big picture is that this is a global market that I think is not going to be going away immediately.
Well, Joe Reinhart, it's always good to have you on the show. Hold up your report. Anybody who wants it, I think, can get in touch with you at Babst Calland. And we appreciate you very much being with us today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, John.
And thank you for watching this edition of the Sunday Business Page. If you have a suggestion for a guest, get in touch with me at jdelano@kdka.com. Have a great Sunday, everybody.